Many famous people his age might have chosen ultra-modern penthouses or large, fancy condos with a modern twist, but Selleck chose something more personal, full of character, and with a very English feel to it. There was a lot more to this Beverly Hills flat than just a handy second home. Selleck carefully chose the furniture and decor in his office to reflect his own tastes and his need for comfort in the midst of a busy work life. At that time, he was very busy with work in the film business and had to be in Los Angeles a lot. On business trips, Selleck didn't want to stay in impersonal hotels, so he made the flat his home away from home. He had a private, cozy haven where he could relax and unwind without the noise and stress of a hotel. English-inspired design was used in the apartment, but it wasn't exactly like the decor in a standard London flat or manor house. Instead, it had a more laid-back, diverse feel to it, what Selleck joked about calling country funky. This odd mix made a home that was both fancy and comfortable, classy without being pretentious. A warm personal haven was made there, with lots of different textures and design elements stacked on top of each other. There was a lot of wood paneling in the apartment, which gave it a classic and slightly manly look. The rooms felt more interesting and unique because of the dark, smooth walls that filled the room with a cozy warmth. Using old furniture all over the house added to the feeling of an old English home These items were carefully picked out because they have character, are well made, and make you think of the old world. Not because they have fancy brand names or are valuable as collector's items. There may have been leather couches, fancy wooden tables, and old-fashioned writing desks in the room. Each piece told a story or added to the worn but chic look. The unique charm of the flat came from the art and accessories that were hung on the walls and shelves. There was a recurring theme of hunting prints, with pictures of fox hunts, deer and sports events in the country that reflected the aristocratic style of English country life. These prints did not turn the room into a stuffy lodge. Instead, they added to the apartment's fun and slightly strange vibe. Along with the odd decorations, they went with the country funky name Selleck gave the neighborhood. Overall, the mood was close and very personal. It looks like a place that people are meant to live in, not just look at. At that time, some famous homes were very flashy and glamorous. Selleck's Beverly Hills apartment, on the other hand, looked like a place to relax with a good book, a scotch by the fire, or to think about the day's work in peace and quiet. It was a big change from the glossy world of TV, red carpets, and constant public attention. The flat was also telling because it was only 1,800 square feet, which was a good size. Even though Selleck was very famous at the time, he didn't try to impress with size. He chose instead to focus on comfort, usefulness, and personal expression. The area was made to fit his needs and tastes instead of what the industry thought should be there. It was a small haven tucked away in one of Los Angeles's most famous areas that let him get away from the attention without leaving the city. The fact that Selleck chose to keep this room shows how disciplined and grounded he is. A lot of artists got lost in the things that came with being famous, but he always tried to find a balance between his public and private life. He was able to do that by keeping a separate, well-thought-out space in Beverly Hills. He could meet his work responsibilities while still keeping his sense of self. It was a smart and heartfelt move, one that added to his image as a famous person who put substance, honesty, and personal comfort ahead of Hollywood flash. As Selleck got older and lived a more normal life based around his Hidden Valley ranch, the Beverly Hills apartment probably became less important to him. But at a very important point in his work, it was a big part of his daily life. A quiet place to go that showed not only where he was physically, but also who he was as a person and artist. The flat is still an interesting part of the story of a man who, even when he was at the height of his fame, always looked for places that felt real, warm, and uniquely his own. Living in Hawaii. When he was at the height of his fame from Magnum P.I., Tom Selleck had a life that was a mix of the glitz and glam of Hollywood and the easygoing, beautiful life of Hawaii, where the famous show was shot. In the 1980s, Selleck was one of TV's biggest stars. He was known for playing the charming private detective Thomas Magnum, but he was also known for keeping a level head in both his work and personal life, One important part of this balance was the way he lived, which changed over time to reflect how his goals changed and how much he wanted privacy. Hawaii was the setting for the movie Magnum P.I., and Selleck kept a home there, which was a big part of his life at the time. Hawaii's beautiful beaches, lush tropical scenery, and slow pace of life were very different from Los Angeles's fast-paced energy. It was a much-needed break for the actor after long days on set. Keeping a house in Hawaii wasn't just a matter of ease or being close to where the movies were being shot. This showed how much Selleck loved the state's natural beauty and calm atmosphere. At the time, I needed a big commitment because I was shooting Magnum P. The show was shot in Hawaii, and Selleck, who had a strong connection to the islands, wanted to keep things calm while he worked. His Hawaiian residence gave him a break from the fast-paced life of Hollywood. They gave him a safe place to recharge away from the harsh lights of the press. The house itself was a mirror of his way of life. It was a private, cozy place where he could relax and heal. Even though Selleck's Hawaiian home wasn't as well known as some of the more luxurious celebrity houses in Los Angeles, it was a reflection of who he was. Understated, friendly, and with a real air of ease about it. During his time on Magnum P.I., Selleck's home in Hawaii was an important part of his life. He also kept a house on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. This apartment was right in the middle of the city, close enough for him to get to work in Hollywood. The star chose the condo because it was close to meetings, events, and work obligations, and because of how busy life is in Los Angeles. But as Selleck's business took off, he started to see his Hollywood condo less as a real home and more as a place to stay while he was in the city. As Selleck's life changed in the late 1980s, he tried to make things easier and get back to his core values. When Selleck bought the huge 65-acre Hidden Valley Ranch near Thousand Oaks, California, in 1988, his goals started to change. The ranch, with its large grounds, Spanish colonial-style house, and peaceful location, was just the kind of place he had been looking for. A place where he could get away from the attention of the people and live a more normal life. When the actor decided to buy the Hidden Valley Ranch, it was the start of a new period in his life. Selleck did know, though, that taking care of various properties could be expensive and difficult to manage. Even though he loved the charm and ease of his condo on Wilshire Boulevard, it didn't seem to fit with how he was living now. The Hidden Valley Ranch, on the other hand, offered Selleck the space and privacy he loved. The ranch was more than just a place to get away from work. Its large fields, horse stables, tennis courts, and peaceful atmosphere made it a great place for him to spend time with his family and nature. The stress of fame didn't bother him there, and he could focus on what was most important to him. Since this happened, Selleck chose to sell his home on Wilshire Boulevard. He liked living in Los Angeles and all the comforts it offered, but it was clear that his heart was set on a different kind of life. One that was less about the busyness of Hollywood and more about peace, privacy, and family. The sale of the condo on Wilshire Boulevard made it possible for Selleck to move to a more stable rural location. He wanted to live his life more slowly and with more meaning at Hidden Valley. At the same time that Selleck chose to leave Los Angeles, he was still not ready to leave Hawaii. He still had a strong love for the islands, and he kept living in Hawaii for a while longer. The Hawaiian land let him stay connected to the nature and way of life that had had such a big impact on him during his Magnum P.I. years. Hawaii was his escape. It was a place where he could relax away from the spotlight and enjoy the kind of peace and quiet that was getting harder to find in Los Angeles. The land became an important part of his life because it gave him a place to think, relax, and recharge in a way that was meaningful to him. In the year 2025, Tom Selleck, who is now 80 years old, is thinking back on a career that has lasted decades and made him a Hollywood star. Not only is his life known for the famous parts he has played on TV and in movies, especially as Thomas Magnum in Magnum, P.I. Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods, but also by doing a lot of dangerous stunts and playing parts that are hard on the body, which have left their mark over time. Now that he is in his later years, Selleck has been open about the physical problems that come with his busy lifestyle, especially the ones that are caused by doing his own stunts for so long. One of the most important things Selleck has talked about openly is how his physical jobs affect his back. On Magnum PI, Selleck was known for doing a lot of his own stunts, like high-speed car chases and fights with other people. These difficult scenes hurt his body, and Selleck has said in comments that they have messed up his back. Over the years, the physical strain of decades of work on screen started to add up, which made his back pain worse as he got older. People are very interested in Selleck's back problems, which are made worse by other health problems that come with getting older. This is especially true since the end of Blue Bloods, the popular police procedural show in which Selleck played Frank Reagan. Fans and people who were interested in the show were left wondering what the actor would do next with his business and health after 13 seasons. Due to the demands of playing an action-packed part like Reagan, Selleck's health was getting harder to handle. After the show ended, rumors spread that Selleck's health had become a worry. He was said to have gained a lot of weight and be having trouble moving around, which were affecting his daily life. A lot of people were starting to wonder about his health, but Selleck was quick to address the issue in an honest way. In conversations, he talked about how his body had changed. In particular, he said that years of working hard on set had hurt his joints, muscles, and ability to move around generally. As Selleck got older, he had to deal with new problems because he used to take pride in staying physically fit. Over the years, doing acts, running, fighting, and other action-packed scenes had worn him down, making it harder for him to stay as fit as he was when he was younger. However, Selleck has been very aggressive in how he has dealt with these problems. Even though he's had problems, the star hasn't given up on doing anything or having a better quality of life. In order to deal with his health problems, get stronger, and improve his general well-being, he has started a full fitness program. Weightlifting, Tai Chi, physiotherapy, and changes to his food are all important parts of this new plan to get his body in shape and make his life better. For Selleck, lifting weights is now a big part of his workout practice. This type of resistance training is known to make muscles stronger, bones denser, and joints more mobile. These are all important benefits for people who are dealing with the physical effects of getting older or working out for a long time. Selleck has worked hard to make his back stronger, Saber. He needs to work on his back and core muscles in particular to get rid of the pain he's been in and regain some of the movement he lost over the years. By doing weightlifting every day, he is consciously working to keep his strength and agility, which are important for his long-term health. In addition to pulling weights, Selleck has taken up Tai Chi, an old Chinese martial art that is known for its smooth, low-impact moves. Tai Chi is great for better balance, flexibility, and mental focus. These are all things that Selleck needs more and more as he deals with the physical challenges of getting older. He has been able to gently stretch and strengthen his body through the practice, which has also helped him become more calm and aware. Due to the fact that Selleck's job required him to be physically fit, Tai Chi gives him a way to stay busy that is easier on his body, but still good for his health in the long run. Physiotherapy has also been an important part of Selleck's exercise plan. He has been working with physical therapists to do therapy and recovery exercises that are specifically designed to help him with his problems, especially his back pain. Physiotherapy helps him get back to moving around and feeling better, which slowly eases some of the stress that his body has been under over the years. Selleck wants to improve his range of motion and lower his risk of getting hurt again while he stays busy by focusing on specific exercises and stretches. In use, another important part of Selleck's health journey has been making changes to his diet. Many people's metabolisms slow down as they get older, which can make it harder to control weight gain. Selleck has worked hard to change his diet in a way that helps him reach his exercise goals and is good for his health in general. He has focused on eating foods that are high in nutrients to feed his body and keep his muscle mass. He has also made changes to his diet to lower inflammation and improve the health of his joints by taking a balanced approach to nutrition that is built on whole foods. Selleck has worked hard to keep his weight in a healthy range and get more energy. This has helped him a lot with his back pain and movement. Lifting weights, doing Tai Chi, going to physiotherapy, and making changes to his food are all parts of Selleck's plan to get his health back and improve his quality of life as he gets older. His determination to keep busy and put his health first shows how strong he is and how much he wants to age in a healthy way. Although the years of doing stunts have left their mark on Selleck's body, his openness to new types of exercise shows that he is determined to keep living a full life, staying active and enjoying the things he loves, like horseback riding, well into his later years. As was already said, Tom Selleck and his wife of more than 30 years, Gilly Mack, continue to live a quiet and private life on their 63-acre ranch in Ventura County, California. The couple has kept their personal life out of the public eye for a long time. They have built a life around simplicity and peace, often going to their large property to get away from the stresses of fame and the attention. The ranch, which is in the rolling hills of Ventura County, gives the couple a safe place to relax and enjoy the peace that comes with living in the country. Because they both value privacy, the media doesn't get in the way of their lives. They can enjoy time with each other and stay connected to the land that has become an important part of their lives. Many days on the ranch are filled with simple joys that make life worth living. They love going for walks around their land in the evenings. It gives them a chance to spend quality time together, enjoy the fresh air, and take in the natural beauty around them. They look forward to these walks every day because they help them connect with each other and the place they've come to call home. Selleck sees these walks as more than just a fun thing to do. They are a way for him to connect with himself, a way to take a break from the stress of a long and successful job and enjoy the present moment. Their large ranch, with its quiet atmosphere and large open areas, gives them both a place to get away from the busy world and find peace in nature. Selleck's choice to live on a ranch in Ventura County shows that he wants a slower-paced life away from the fast-paced world of Hollywood. Even though he used to be a regular on TV with roles in Magnum, P.I., and then Blue Bloods, Selleck's desire for privacy has gotten stronger over the years. The ranch is a place to get away from the spotlight and has become the heart of a life focused on family, nature, and personal growth. Even though Blue Bloods is over, Selleck is still very dedicated to taking care of his property and doing things that connect him to the country he loves. In January 2025, Selleck turned 80 years old, which was a big deal. In line with his low-key personality, though, the actor enjoyed the event in a simple way, without a big party or lots of expensive gifts. Selleck chose a simple meal at McDonald's instead, which shows how he lives his life, without any extras. His desire to enjoy the little things in life without making a big deal out of them. Selleck chose to spend quality time with his family after dinner, which shows how important family bonds are and how much fun it is to be together. Selleck thinks of birthdays as a time to think, not as a time for big parties. Being humble, thankful, and focused on the people he loves are ideals that have stayed important to him throughout his life. His simple 80th birthday celebration shows these traits. Even though the end of Blue Bloods may have been a big turning point in Selleck's starring career, he is still very busy with his daily life, especially on his ranch. With all the problems that come with getting older and the damage that years of doing stunts and action scenes have done to his body, Selleck has continued to stay busy. He does a lot of physical work around the ranch to keep it in good shape, take care of the land, and do all the other things that come with living on a ranch. Selleck is proud to stay physically connected with the place he calls home. He does this by working in the fields, taking care of the horses, and managing the upkeep of the ranch house. However, Selleck's friends and family are worried about the physical stress that this much work may put on his body, especially as he gets older. Even though he works out regularly by lifting weights, doing Tai Chi, going to physiotherapy, and making changes to his diet, his dedication to taking care of the ranch by hand may be negatively impacting his health. Because he has had back problems in the past and has done a lot of stunt work for years, it's not surprising that his friends are worried about how the hard work of running a ranch will affect him in the long run. Even though the daily labor is satisfying, it can be hard on the body, especially for someone who has been active all their lives. After the end of Blue Bloods in December 2024, Tom Selleck is going through an important time in his life and work. Selleck is not planning to leave the entertainment business, even though he had a great 14-season run on the popular police procedural show that made him one of TV's most lasting stars. Instead,